500-million-year-old human footprint. Despite evolutionary biologists speculating that the now extinct species referred to as the trilobites had only existed roughly 260 to 600 million years ago, back in 1968, a strange discovery made by a man named William J. Meister would put many evolutionary theories soon to question. Located roughly 43 miles west of the city of Delta in the state of Utah, William J. Meister, a self-proclaimed amateur archaeologist and fossil collector, found a number of trilobite fossils when digging about the area and peering at the rock sides throughout the region. Though originally believing he had struck a gold mine of fossils, ready to find the most pristine images to add to his collection or sell to others, he then noticed a strange imprint on one of the fossils that did not look quite like a normal trilobite. Upon closer inspection, the fossil image was that of a crushed trilobite with the markings of a modern-day shoe print on top of it. This led to him quickly taking the fossil to over 3 different labs that reported that the fossil as completely genuine and valid in its find. This led to a wide number of groups catching wind of this discovery and claiming that such a piece is evidence that the human race has been around much longer than any evolutionary biologists have ever realized, proclaiming the fossil to be more than 500 million years old. Although research scientists are unable to accurately explain the discovery, the chances of the human race being more than 500 million years old without substantial evidence of these evolutionary changes leaves many researchers questioning the discovery. Despite this, many have flocked to a number of their own theories, from that of ancient humans, ancient aliens, and even that of time travelers being sent to the distant past and ultimately stepping on a trilobite in error. The discovery of the James Ossuary. In ancient scripture, it had often been mentioned that Jesus of Nazareth had many different brothers and sisters over the course of his lifetime, a belief that many scholars supported, given the fact that families during those times were well known for having a number of siblings and offspring to help tend to livestock, land, and other labor needed around the property. These passages in scripture became fairly interesting for the development of the Christian religion, however, as the discovery of a lineage that follows the line of Jesus or that of his surviving family members could provide additional proof to the scriptures of the New Testament and the existence of Jesus Christ himself. Interestingly enough, it appears that back on the 21st of October in 2002, such evidence was discovered when the burial grounds of one of the siblings of Jesus had been discovered. Referred to as the James Ossuary, researchers discovered a box made entirely out of limestone that contained the deceased bones of an individual regarded as that of James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus, when a small inscription located on the side of the box was deciphered from Hebrew. Further testing from the researchers found that the box was dated as far back as the 1st century, leading many to believe that this was indeed the brother of Jesus Christ, as the dates would show a brother living well into his old age. The oldest Faro carvings. Originally discovered back in 1890 and recorded by researchers during this time, the oldest carvings depicting that of a pharaoh ruling Egypt were made when researchers stumbled across a large rock alongside the Nile River in southern Egypt. Unfortunately, after the expedition in the region had ended, many researchers were unable to locate the rock that the original Egyptologists had recorded, leaving many to question the authenticity of the claim. Fortunately, this stone was discovered once again back in 2008 when researchers journeying through southern Egypt took notice to that of a strange carving on a stone that depicted the first pharaoh to have existed, known as Nama, ruling over the first pieces of evidence of a unified Egypt. The carving is significant for a variety of reasons. One is being able to accurately date the reign of the first Egyptian pharaoh, as well as the depiction of the pharaoh at the time. Another is being aware of the end of the prehistoric era and the beginning of history itself, as new events were now accurately catalogued and recorded. Originally, many researchers were well aware of the carvings having existed at one time via sketched images of the carvings that were discovered at the Nag el Hamdulab village, but these sketches had often been revealed as being incomplete and left many researchers wondering if the source of the supposed carvings had ever existed in the first place. The source of the carvings would not be discovered until the late 1960s, when several photographs had been taken of the oldest pharaoh carvings. However, these photographs were never published and would fade into obscurity until the early 2000s, when researchers would stumble across the photos and try to uncover their location. This would lead to a research team uncovering the location of the carvings in 2008, leading to the dating of the carvings to reveal that the image had been created as early as 3200 BC and would have been depicting the first pharaoh to have ruled the unified Upper and Lower Egypt. Presumed to have been destroyed, this piece has allowed researchers to understand a more cohesive grasp on the timeline of the pharaohs and could even lead to a new understanding of the timeline in the modern day. The copper receipt of the Sumerians. Often regarded by researchers as being the oldest surviving written account in human history, others have referred to the copper receipt of the Sumerians as the oldest customer service document to have ever existed. Within this strange tablet, written with cuneiform, details a strange story featuring two shopkeepers, a messenger, and a number of references to raiders and tribesmen attacking the region. According to the copper receipt, the writer of the tablet, a business owner, had made a deal with another Sumerian business owner detailing the sale of a large amount of high-quality copper to be used for crafting. According to the writer, he had sent a messenger to the other business owner to retrieve the high-quality copper. However, the business owner took back his word and kept the payment ahead of time and told the messenger to take back a low grade of copper and that he should take it or leave it, but that nothing would change. This angered the writer, as he claims to have been a good business partner and does not understand where this sudden disrespect came from, and that he demanded to be reimbursed with the higher grade of copper, as he claimed that the messenger does not have an easy task, as he must venture between unsafe lands that hold raiders and attackers waiting to steal goods of all kinds. This has led researchers to believe the businesses, markets, trades, and contracts were far more complex than originally imagined, and that the technology used by human beings must have been on par to that of later dynasties, given the references to weapons, use of metals and coppers, as well as the intricate use of language involving cuneiform that had previously believed to have been limited. The Phaistos disc. Found on the island of Crete is a disc of fired clay located inside of the Minoan palace of Phaistos that has left many professional and amateur archaeologists struggling to decode the strange symbols found on the disc. Interestingly enough, it appears that the disc follows a lot of the same principles of modern-day discs, such as creating the symbols in an outward spiraling motion, as well as having what appears to be a spiraling line starting from the middle of the disc and radiating outwards. The symbols are not recognized as being a language of any kind and have left many wondering if it is, instead, a number of visual symbols that have no specific meaning but are made to provide information based on context. Such examples of symbols like these in the modern day are that of stop signs, pedestrian crossing signs, and emojis. These are symbols used in the everyday process but have no real decipherable language to them. Located on the Phaistos disc is a number of strange symbols that depict the heads of people, hides of animals, water, filters, and a number of strange tools that don't seem to be repeating in any way. The disc also has two distinct sides, known as Side A and Side B, that depict different symbols that have no real connection with the opposite side. This strange and believed to be impossible to decipher text has led to a number of online forums dedicated to solving this strange artifact that have made several different lists describing each symbol and trying to better understand the use and purpose behind it. Many have argued that if the symbols had no specific language, they would not be ordered on the disc in any way and would rather just be randomly carved images, but given the fact that they are in an ordered position and seem to face in a specific direction, it is believed to be a decipherable language. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.